area. We want to take this opportunity to introduce a revolutionary. We want to introduce a leader of the African Revolution, of all people of African ancestry, not only in South Africa, but in the entire African continent and the diaspora. We're here to introduce to you a leader whom you can count in the same lines as Robert Sobukwe, as Thomas Sankara, as Patrice Lumumba, as Kwame Nkrumah, as Ahmed Ben Bella. We want to introduce to you Ground Forces of the EFF, the Commander-in-Chief and President of the EFF. Comrade President.
Amandla. Amandla. Viva EFF, viva. Ayole EFF, ayole. Ayole EFF, ayole. Happy birthday EFF, happy birthday. Happy birthday, EFF, happy birthday. Ralabua, thank you very much. Deputy President, National Chairperson, the Secretary General, the DSG, and the TG, leaders of the Central Command Team, the War Council, leaders of our provinces who are here, in particular, the chairperson of Free State and the secretary of Free State. We want to take this opportunity, Mandisa, to thank you and your collective for making this 9th anniversary of the EFF a memorable one, which the enemy will never forget in the history of politics in Free State. Let me thank my president of Podemo. Let me thank my president of SAFTU. Let me thank my president of ATM, my president of UDM, my president of the EFF in Lesotho, and the deputy president of the EFF in Swaziland. Let me also join the national chairperson to send my deepest condolences to the president of the EFF in Swaziland. Let me also thank and greet the newly elected president of the Student Command. New from the box, you could even hear when he speaks that here speaks a young, vibrant intelligentsia. Because he started us by referring us to 1929. I was worried, when are we going to arrive at 2024 if we started 1929? Let me also congratulate all those who are elected with him. You are entrusted with a huge responsibility of not only leading the students, but also of leading the young people of South Africa, because you are the only youth voice in South Africa. There is no any other youth organization in South Africa except the EFF Student Command. And you must know you hold a huge responsibility. Because you like history, President of the Student Command, you must also read the history of COSAS. That when COSAS was formed, there was no youth organization in South Africa. All students joined COSAS, including those who were not students, because all young people in South Africa in the 80s, before the formation of SAICO, did not have a home. And COSAS did not only become the home of students, but it became the home of the youth. Today, history is repeating itself. You are called upon to lead the unemployed youth of South Africa, the educated and the uneducated, all those who are rejected by the system. Look upon you as the leader of the youth to provide uncompromising, militant and radical solutions to the problems that are facing the African youth. And therefore you should know, on your shoulders you carry a heavy responsibility. Comrades, we are in Mangaung. This is a special place for the EFF because the first National Assembly, the National People's Assembly of the EFF, was held here in Mangaung. And when we came back today to Mangaung, we knew that we were going back to home because Mangaung is the home of the EFF. And we knew that you are going to pack this stadium because you are the home of the EFF. It is unfortunate that Mangaung, as a historic place of the EFF, has got no municipality. This Mangaung municipality, from today, it is called a sewer municipality. Because mo Mangaung mo tsamayang everywhere, o tsamaya o kopana le soreji matha ko strateng, bana ba raloka ka metsi a soreji. Maqheku a rona a tlile mo today, batho ba tswa kgole le ANC, mara ba kgathetse. Ba re kgathaditse ko re ha re tswa ka matlung a rona re kena ka hare a soreji. Ha re ja dijo re ja mo pele a soreji. Masipala ha o sa le teng ka hore ha re ne re fihla hardly 3 months after elections, municipality ya Mangaung ka e beiwa under administration. Why? Because ba ne ba utswa o sna ntho e ba sa e utswing, ba qala ka toilet paper, ba utswa everything ye ba kopanang le yona. Masipala wa Mangaung o wile, le batho ba mo Mangaung ba fileng ANC a warning last year by 50% from majority rule. Still, the ANC did not listen. From today, ha re sa bua ka ANC, re bua ka hore re kenya EFF. Ha re re ANC ya re sokodisa, no, khale re bua ntho eo, ha re sa e bua. We now speak solution. Ha motho a re na le mathata a soreji, re re ha re kene EFF e tle solve bothata ba soreji. Ha motho a re ha re sebetse, o ska re ANC re lahlile, e re let's put the EFF in power, you will see what will happen. Comrades, re batla hore ha re le mo Mangaung, re lebohe batho ba Moqhaka, re lebohe batho ba Metsimaholo, re lebohe batho ba Nala municipality, hore batho ba e votela EFF in their numbers. Mo Freistata mo. It's just a matter of time. Ka 2024, batho ba Nala, batho ba Moqhaka, batho ba Metsimaholo, batho ba Mangaung, batho ba Botshabelo all over, ha ne re tsamaya ba re ko rona ka 2024 re kenya EFF Malema. Let's carry disappointed the way, but we're disappointed. So, comrades, today, as we turn 9 years, bane babu wadi bui, der EFF itlo shwa, eka se fite le 1 year, haba ya conferencing ya bona, the doomsayers, bar itlo shwa ntwe, hauna mo ekayang, bari bitsa oreki, ifita fela, haitlo nna, khantia batsibi, or we are permanent residents of South Africa, of Africa. We are not going anywhere. Reina, we are inspired by Cuba, the July 26 movement. We are inspired by Fidel Castro, who went to the grave. Alwana, he has never given up. Like Fidel Castro, we will never give up. Like the July 26 movement, we will never give up. Why are we not giving up? Because socialism has not been attained. We will only give up when socialism is attained, and socialism can never be attained in South Africa only. It must be attained all over Africa and the world. That's what we are fighting for. We are not fighting against the ANC. We are fighting for socialism. Comrades, Rena, Harley EFF, we represent black people all over. Lebao banan lebadimu babu Africa, when they are found everywhere in the world. We are fighting for those people. So when you see a black person in Europe, when you see a black person in America, you must know that that person is your brother, is your sister, and we are fighting the same cause because we are the rejected people of the world. Comrades, EFF in Ale 9 years only. Marawi Sheba, Yenze Musebeti, Wamokatlo 190 years. Ever 9 years. Sometimes Uposa or Heaven. 9 years, it looks like this organization has been around for too long. We have more than 1,100 public representatives all over South Africa. We have members of legislature in all the legislatures of South Africa. We've got members of parliament, members of NCOP. We've got councillors in almost all municipalities within a space of 9 years. We are not just there. We are there to make impactful impact on the lives of ordinary people. Harimo kabaka la ditulo re chaza ko apara disutu re ke rena ma councillor ha re apare disutu re apara di overall. Why do we wear overall? We must remind ourselves on daily basis that we are at work. We are not here for nice things. We are here to fix South Africa, and you can't fix without an overall. We are not for palace politics. We are here to dirty our hands. President Wasaftu Onabu Wamona Abonchaore in the universities, it was the EFF that re-conscientized the unions and said to the unions, that which you are fighting for all along and you're not winning, we are going to win it for you. We insourced workers in the universities because the unions were in bed with management and had forgotten about workers. The students on their own like the president of the student command said, the problems of the university are a problem of society. And therefore you can't say this is a problem of workers. We as students, we don't get involved. Those workers are our parents. They are working for us, and when they are insourced permanently with a good salary and pension funds and medical aid, we know they will take care of the youth at home because our youth are unemployed. So the student command, the EFF, exists in almost 250 campuses. It is the only organization that exists in such campuses. The EFF made sure the security guards are insourced in Johannesburg, in Tshwane, in Ikuruleni, in PE. All our councillors have put a motion to say all workers must be insourced. And we can guarantee you that the workers are going to be insourced like we did in places like Johannesburg and in many other universities. Today, it is the EFF that has given hope to the petrol attendants that finally someone is speaking about us. No political party, not even NGOs, have ever spoken on behalf of petrol attendants. We are so ordinary to an extent that the living and working condition of workers such as petrol attendants matter to us. Today, black professionals are able to speak back to their white racist bosses who are abusing them and violating their rights at workplaces. Le bona ba di journalists ba. Amakhoa ba tella ba bua. They can now speak back because batho ba di journalists ba. Ne ba ngwala ditori ba fa di sub editors and editors tsa makhoa. The editor tela tsa makhoa di change a story completely of a black journalist. Today, I change a story. A black journalist is able to say to a white sub-editor, an editor, remove my name and put your name. Because you are not going to write such false stories in my name. But in the past, they couldn't do that. They were getting shocked the same way we're getting shocked. But the EFF has planted black consciousness and confidence amongst black professionals, including black journalists. Baganogana, marabali one, but seba lebonore. Yo, yerzamile EFF. Because rezama all black people. Comrades, we are a generation of economic emancipation, and we must never allow a situation where our people are undermined in the presence of the EFF. We are not existing in the papers. We exist on the ground. We have built a strong organization to an extent that in the 4,300 wards in South Africa, there is no single ward without a member of the EFF. Anywhere in South Africa, every corner in South Africa, you will find a red beret because we are the hope of the hopeless masses of our people. Born a 9-year-old, ye never itlo shwa in less than a year, has got more than 8 deputy mayors in KwaZulu-Natal alone. Why am I mentioning KwaZulu-Natal? They were saying we are a tribalistic organization that will only exist in Limpopo. We have mayors in KwaZulu-Natal, not in Limpopo, because we are a national organization and we exist everywhere. Comrades, the EFF, Safety President said it, is in each and every factory floor. We are speaking for workers. We are speaking for students. We are speaking for communities. There is no space in South Africa where you will not find the EFF. We fought successfully against a Gupta criminal syndicate. When everybody was scared of the Guptas, we confronted the Guptas, and we stand here proud today that we defeated the Guptas. We are not saying the Guptas captured the state. They did not capture the state. They were stealing tenders. There is a difference between the capturing of the state and corruption. They were engaged in corrupt activities. We joined forces with other political formations. We defeated them. The most powerful criminal syndicate. Today, we are the only organization that is confronting the white monopoly capital. When everybody has accepted white monopoly capital as a messiah, we regard them as an enemy of our people. We are gathered here today, all of you here, with t-shirts, with food, with buses, without money of white monopoly capital. There is no white monopoly that can claim that they've donated anything here. We don't need them because they stole enough from our people, and we are going to confront them and we are going to fight them. We are going to defeat them because we want our land back. It was only after the formation of the EFF that the land was debated in Parliament. Our people were consulted about the land question by Parliament, even though the ANC sold out. The reality of the situation is the EFF put the land question firmly on the table, and that land question is being attended to. We want to recommit and tell our people that the land will be returned into the hands of our people in our lifetime. Today, everybody speaks about free education. They could not talk about free education before the formation of the EFF. Parliament debated this matter. The EFF put a motion in Parliament and said, let's pass a law and a resolution of Parliament to have free education in South Africa. The majority, working with the white parties in Parliament, voted against the free education. But when they leave Parliament, they come to you and lie to you that they will give you free education after they voted against it. Today, we speak about the state-owned bank. We want a bank that is owned by the state. And this bank must be the one that gives workers of government the bond at a reasonable cost. This bank must help finance the orega hadi koloi jaba sebetsi ba mmuso, because there are a lot of workers in government who don't qualify for subsidy, who don't qualify for car finance, yet they're saying they are working. Why? They are not the target market of the commercial banks. So this missing middle, needs a bank that is going to help them. And that bank can only be owned by state because it will not be driven by wanting to make a profit at all costs. Today, everybody stand up and talk about the state bank because the EFF has made this reality possible. Even in Parliament, there was a bill which the ANC is trying to hide away on the establishment of the state bank. Tito Mboweni, if he was not a coward, he said we must have a state bank before he became a minister of finance. After entering Ministry of Finance, they gave him Zimbas because his mouth was full of Zimbas. He was no longer talking about the establishment of state bank. Comrades, EFF in many municipalities removed corrupt mayors, corrupt municipal managers. EFF in municipalities removed and opened cases against councillors of the ANC who were selling the land to our people. They got arrested. Some of them even got fired because of the efforts of the EFF. Why am I saying this? We are not just talking about fighting corruption. We are practically, physically, on the ground, fighting against corruption. We identify corrupt elements, we isolate them, and we make sure that they get exposed. Only the EFF SRCs give a meal per day to poor students where the EFF is leading. The EFF makes sure that it prioritizes sanitary towels in campuses where we lead SRCs. Why? We don't talk about things we don't do. In the EFF, in the past 9 years, we never made promises. We made commitments, and when given an opportunity to lead, we fulfill those commitments. Comrades, the EFF is the only organization that fight every beginning of the year to make sure that the children of the poor are registered at the universities, at TVET colleges, free of charge if they don't have money. We don't just talk about, hey, register for free. When we say these kids are going to register and the management refuses, we kick the doors. We don't open the doors. We kick the doors for the poor masses of our people who are deserving of free education. No one will ever say that there is any other party that has successfully fought and registered a lot of students in South Africa than the EFF, because we believe in the future. That's why we are obsessed with making sure that the youth of South Africa get education. In the EFF, a corrupt councillor who takes bribes from ANC connected entrepreneurs will never see the light of the day. When corruption is brought to our attention against our own members, we act against our own, because we believe that we cannot deal with others if we can't cleanse ourselves from corrupt elements in the EFF. So if you are still thinking of being corrupt in the EFF, just leave that thing. It's not going to help you, because we are going to deal with you decisively in the EFF. Comrades, in Johannesburg, the EFF bought a building and build itself a head office that is named after Winnie Madikizela Mandela. There is no any other party that has achieved that in 9 years. The ANC, when it came back, it was donated Shell House, and they called their head office with the name of a monopoly capital company. Shell House, after Shell. And that called themselves revolutionaries. Our office is not Shell House, it's not Total, it's not BP, it's Winnie Madikizela Mandela head office. We didn't only do that for Winnie. We named the biggest street from Johannesburg to Four Ways after Winnie Mandela. The ANC came into power after they removed Mashaba. They've never implemented the renaming of William Nicol after Winnie Mandela, yet there is a resolution that says that street must be named Winnie Mandela. Imagine a 9-year-old, I will remove Alina la William Nicol. Useless names like that. It took a 9-year-old organization. Now it's not being implemented. What does it mean? It's waiting for the EFF to take over Johannesburg so that we can physically, practically rename that street. We named a municipality in the Eastern Cape, Bizana municipality. We named it after Winnie Madikizela Mandela. Yet we are not in power. Through superior logic and the power of persuasion, we are able to convince the majority to do the right thing. So, fighters, we want to make sure that this organization lives forever. Because our people don't have water. You have millions of households without clean water. And those who have water, either the water is brown or black. Even animals can't drink that water. So we must make sure that we take over South Africa and make sure each and every household have proper piped water, which will be provided to our people by the EFF government. The infrastructure is collapsing all over South Africa because the government of the day is obsessed with corruption than to deliver to our people. People who have clean water are people who stay next to white people. If you don't stay next to white people, you will never get clean water. Meaning clean water is for white people. That's why in Western Cape, there is 68% of households have got clean water. Why? Western Cape has got too many white people. Therefore, where there are white people, there must be clean water. That's why 68% will have clean water in the Western Cape. Where there are no many white people, like KwaZulu-Natal, like Eastern Cape, like Limpopo, there will never be clean water because clean water is associated with whiteness. So we must make sure that we do away with that colonial arrangement and give our people water, because water is life. Without water, we are nothing. Comrades, the issue of gender-based violence must be confronted by all of us. Whether the Zamazamas who raped our sisters are from Lesotho or are not from Lesotho, We don't care. They are criminals and they must be dealt with as such. Their nationality is not important. The South African police must start acting on criminals. Where this rape happened, the police must stop talking too much English. They must go there with clear barricades and barricade the whole squatter camp and get into each and every house, a shack or a house, we don't care. We are looking for rapists here. You are going to have to release this rapist, because if you hide rapists, you are actually encouraging rape yourself. We need a militant program into that squatter camp. And we need, because we are told that in that squatter camp, actually the issue of rape is a daily activity. It's only now that it got exposed. But they are raping young women, they are raping old gogos, they are raping all women during the day as they walk. They don't even wait for darkness. They grab them, rape them, they open cases, nothing happens. So we cannot have a capitalist government avoiding this serious issue of gender-based violence. The criminals have taken over the streets. We don't have minister of police. We don't have a commissioner of police. The day we get the minister of police and the commissioner of police, these criminals who have taken over the streets, police must face them toe for toe. If they take out guns against the police must drop them with immediate effect. No criminal must point a gun at the police and come out alive. That is the only way we are going to restore law and order in this country. We cannot have criminals having more rights than peaceful, law-abiding citizens of our country. Let's go and reclaim the streets fighters. Let's make the streets of South Africa safe again. Let us confront criminals. Let's make sure the police stations that do not attend to rape, they are exposed. Criminals commit crime with the police. There is no criminal who commits crime without the involvement of the police. We need to expose the corrupt police in all the police stations, and we must show them a door. Those thugs that raped 8 women, they must know that they did not just commit rape, they killed those women. Because when you rape, you actually kill something inside that person. And that person will live with that forever. They are not just rapists, they are murderers. And we don't want to see them in our streets. They must be confronted, and they must be fought, and they must be locked in jail for a very long time. Comrades, 11,000 cases of rape just between January and March. 11,000. Imagine if it's 11,000 per quarter. What's going to happen in this 2022? All women of South Africa will be raped by December. If we don't do something about it, those of us who have girl children, those of us who have mothers and sisters, we must look at them and say, she could be next if I don't do something. I have to stand up, because I don't want my mother, I don't want my sister, I don't want my daughter to be the next victim of the rapists that have taken over the streets of South Africa. Let us confront the rapists. Let us fight the rapists. And the time is now. There will never be another time to reclaim the streets of South Africa. Let's make sure that there is a proper unit established to deal with violent crimes. You remember SG, the Kato manner of KZN that was established to deal with taxi violence in KZN. We need something like that because the Kato manner got excited and became law unto themselves. We need something like Kato manner that will respect the Constitution but act decisively against violent crime. We need a unit that will specifically identify these thugs and go after them. Because these criminals are known. All the criminals in Western Cape, all of them, they are known by name. They are even celebrated on the streets. Why police are not acting on them, I don't know. In Khayelitsha, you get a person on bail 8 times. Same charge is on bail for murder cases. 8 bails. How can you give a person bail after bail, bail after bail for committing the same crime? There is something, former national chair, with the magistrate of Khayelitsha. They are involved with criminals, and that's why even those who come from the flats, they go to Khayelitsha to apply for bails because they know in Khayelitsha it's very easy to get a bail. If we know of such places, why is there no special established intelligence to investigate the relationship between the magistrate and the criminals so that we expose even the corrupt magistrates? Fighters, we must make sure that we reduce murder, kidnapping, robberies, drug hijacking, cash in transit haste. We must fight those crimes in South Africa. Comrades, if we don't fight crime, then we must know we are going to become another failed state. But how can we fight crime when a president commits crime and there is nothing that happens to the president? The president had foreign currency, case is opened against him, he's not arrested. The president took our police into a foreign land without case number, the president is not arrested. The president has tortured people in his house, the case is open, the president is not arrested. The president takes a platform and tells us to fight gender-based violence when he was torturing a female domestic worker in his house. A case is open, the president is not arrested. So who is going to be arrested? But more than that, why would a president want to occupy a position of office of the president? A tshwerwe ka morwalo. Ha re ola maqheku a ne a ruta a re leshodu le tshwarwa ka morwalo. Ranko re mothotse ka morwalo a tshwere di-dollar. Mara Ranko ha so tshwarwe le today. Letla president ye ke role model ya ditsotsi. That's why re ka defeat botsotsi ka re tshwere ke skebekwa sa gangster in the office of the president. But Ramaphosa must know his days are numbered in that office of the president. a re montši fela ka gore o utswitše. We must remove him because of unemployment. We must remove him because of the levels of poverty in South Africa. We must remove him because petrolo ia tura mo South Africa. What Ramaphosa does, kuba chomi at the West, instead of finding an alternative oil for South Africans, he will never do that because he's empowering his friends in the West and in America. So we are going to shut down South Africa, and when we do so, all the streets of South Africa are going to come to a standstill because we must take action against the state of our nation. If we don't do that, all of us, President Holomisa, all of us, we are going to be attacked by an unled revolution. And when we get attacked, we, black people who stay in the suburbs with white people, we are going to become victims more than white people, because when they find us there in the white suburbs, they are going to say, you came here and you forgot about us. We thought you were coming to open a road for all of us. You became too comfortable and sold us out. Before we get attacked, we must take action to restore South Africa back into the hands of South Africans. Comrades, we want our minds back. The president will not give us our minds. We want the monopoly industries back. The president will never give us that. We want our land. The president will never give us that. Comrade, we have tried everything. You say we must be responsible, we must not be disruptive. We wrote questions after questions to the president in parliament. All these leaders who spoke here, ATM, UDM, EFF, have written to the president trying to be gentlemen. The gentleman arrangement did not work. The streets are calling us. We must go to the picket lines. We must show Ramaphosa the door. That is the only option we are left with. We fought the parliamentary way. We fought the court way. Half of the judges are captured by this Ramaphosa. He sealed CR17. Till today, we don't know who gave him money. Now he's sealing the public protector 31 question answers. Now, this president who goes to court to hide from accountability, clearly, these judges are the ones who are inviting him. Come. We'll close it, we'll seal it, come here. The judges must remove themselves from the pocket of Ramaphosa. Because if they don't, Ramaphosa will fall, and some of those judges who took CR17 money, who takes money of white capital, they will fall with him. Because I can tell you now, CR17 is going to be unsealed because Ramaphosa will not be a president forever. And when it gets unsealed, we are going to find a name of a judge inside there. That judge will follow Ramaphosa. We can't have judges in the pockets of capital. Today, public protector is suspended. Why? Because he investigated Ramaphosa. Today, Klope is suspended. Why? Because Ramaphosa went to Western Cape. He wants to seal the answers of the 31 questions. Everyone who holds Ramaphosa accountable, that person gets suspended or harassed by state security. I want to tell you now, we are not scared of state security. We are not scared of Ramaphosa. We are going to hold him accountable. Uarata, arat, nkwela ye kima ela, re tlo e khoa, re khoa, bloody nose, khalo utswa tšhelete ya rena, bloody fool. Le khod, a re tlo tshwara ke makgodu. And then, ha re tshwere ke mashodu, ba re ska bua. He le ska bua le tlo tshwarwa. He SARS tlo le lata le ska bua. He di hawks a batle. Ba ta batla ka SARS ka di hawks ka maponisa ka eng. The nose will be pulled from that office of the president. We don't deserve such nose in that office. Comrades, let us defend the EFF with everything. The EFF is the only thing we have. The EFF support public protector. The EFF support Judge President Klope. The EFF will never be shaken by the regime because we are not in the pockets of the regime. So be rest assured, we will defend the public protector. Whatever happens, we'll always be on her side because we want to protect the independence of that office. Fighters, Swaziland is our home. We need democracy in Swaziland. We must make sure that Mswati collapses. Fighters, we need Russia to rise and defeat the Western powers because Russia has always been a friendly force against imperialism and against colonialism. When they ask you, which side are you on? We are with Russia. Russia is us and we are Russia. And we will never be the friends of the Western powers. We demand that America must remove its illegal economic embargo against Cuba. The people of Cuba, they are going hungry, not because they are not talented, not because they can't do for themselves, but because America has imposed an illegal embargo on the Cuban people. We are in solidarity with the people of Western Sahara. We want Morocco to return the land to the rightful owners of the Western Sahara. We are with the people of Palestine because Israel will never be a friend of ours, because Israel is not different from apartheid. Let the children of Palestine know peace and freedom, because if they don't know peace and freedom, we will never know peace and freedom ourselves. How do you sleep comfortably at night when you know that innocent children and women in Palestine are being bombed because someone wants to take over their land? We are not going to support the apartheid Israel. We are with the people of Palestine. Fighters, we need 1 million members. And by the end of December, we must have 1 million members. And these journalists, because they like spreading rumors about us, when we are done, I don't know if you have a skill to audit. When we are done with our 1 million members in December, we are going to call you Sunday Times. Come and check. You can audit. Paid up members of the EFF. Why? In 2024, we want 1 million ground forces of the EFF on the ground, going door to door, going house by house, speaking to each and every voter in South Africa. We will never remove this corrupt government if we don't have ground forces on the ground. But fighters, I want to salute all of you. The EFF turns 9 today because of you. If it was not you, the ground forces of the EFF, we will not be where we are today. You are the ones who are being insulted every day when you do your work on the ground, doing door to door, but you never get tired because you know you've got an appointment with the future. I salute all the ground forces of the EFF all over South Africa, wherever they are. You are the reliable soldiers of the revolution. The revolution depends on you. The people of South Africa, they look up to you. The people of South Africa, when they see a red beret, they see the future. They see the better life coming into their home. Do not destroy the EFF. Protect the EFF. It is the only weapon in the hands of black people. Amanda! Amanda! Viva EFF, viva! Viva EFF, viva! I will EFF, I will! I will EFF, I will! Tata EFF, Tata! Thank you very much. Security, allow our fighters to come into the field. Thank you, Chair.